It's sad Netflix's Witcher series has gone so downhill because they had amazing source material to work with that they threw out the window, but it looks like fans completely rejected this series because not only did it drop in viewership, but it did with each episode, meaning they've lost potential viewers for the second part of the season already. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube membership. Now, of course, every series is eventually going to see a drop, but this quickly and this harshly isn't really normal. It says each subsequent episode of The Witcher Season 3 dropped sharply in viewership. So we're not talking like a couple hundred viewers or just a couple thousand. We are talking many viewers here, as you'll see in a second. It says The Witcher Season 3 does not seem to be going especially well for Netflix, a series that once felt like it could possibly be the service's Game of Thrones. This is all they really wanted Witcher to be, and after Season 1, I really felt like it had the potential to be massive because, of course, the books are loved, the video games are loved. They were already pulling from a massive fan base, but unfortunately, they really didn't do this series justice. Season 1 was really good in my opinion. It still did stray from the source material a little bit. The 3 timelines was something a lot of people did not like, but I still enjoyed the final product. Season 2 definitely took a dip in, inaccuracy to source material and the poor costumes and just the writing went haywire. But people were still slightly hopeful for Season 3 until, of course, we heard that Cavill was going to be replaced after it, and a lot of people gave up on it. But it was supposed to be the service's Game of Thrones, and that's definitely not the case anymore. It says, though, fans have been thrashing the new half-season in user reviews, mainly angry about Cavill's upcoming departure, but more pressingly, viewership numbers appear to be dropping. Deadline reports that Samba TV data, not official Netflix data, shows that while 1.1 million US households watched the premiere, that is down 15% from Season 2, so not even getting into the numbers for the individual episodes, it was already minus 15% going, from Season 2 to 3. It says, I suppose that's not the biggest drop, and it's certainly not unheard of to see declines as the show ages. However, the more problematic stat is that viewers apparently gave up on the series as it moved through its 5 episodes. One other thing I do want to point out is that between Season 2 and 3, of course, there was bound to be some kind of drop in numbers, but we also had Witcher Blood Origin in that time frame back in December, and people absolutely hated that. And when Blood Origin came out, people were vowing to boycott the 3rd season, even with Henry Cavill, because they were upset over how awful that series was. So I do think that that also added to that number a little bit. But as you can see, going from episode 1 to 5, the numbers drastically dropped. Episode 1 started with 1.1 million viewers, which doesn't seem like the best, let's be honest, but then they drastically declined. Going to episode 2, it was 893,000. Episode 3 was 760,000. Episode 4 was 602,000. And then episode 5 went to 505,000, so it was halved. And keep in mind, all of these dropped at once, and this isn't the full season, so I'm sure that when the second part of this season releases in, at this point, 3 weeks, and we have, episodes 6, 7, and 8, there will be another wave of viewership going to those first episodes because there are people out there who don't want to watch any of the content until all of it is released. But I don't think that these numbers are going to skyrocket. It says, so by the end of the season, well, the end of the mid-season, which all can be binged at once, the show lost half of its viewership, more than half actually. In contrast, all 8 episodes of The Witcher Season 2 drew in more than 1 million viewers during their first week, according to Samba. And of course, Season 1 of the show was one of Netflix's most popular ever. This is good and bad at the same time, right? This makes me happy and sad, because it makes me happy that this show is failing now that, Henry Cavill is no longer going to be part of it. The writers are not passionate about this, and the next season is probably going to go off the walls and not follow the source material at all. But it honestly does make me sad that The Witcher has fallen so much, because again, I and a lot of people did really enjoy Season 1, and we thought it had a lot of potential, especially if they followed the books. That's all they really had to do, and they really didn't. And it makes me sad to see that, The Witcher is now always going to have this stain on its name and legacy. It says, but you can see the problem here, and this is before Henry Cavill left, getting replaced by Liam Hemsworth in Season 4 and Season 5. I have said it from the beginning. I thought it was a terrible idea for them to announce Liam Hemsworth was replacing Henry Cavill on the same day, because the announcements happened at the same time. I felt like they should have announced Henry Cavill was leaving, but saying, don't worry guys, he's gonna be great in the next season, you're gonna love it, blah blah blah. And then after this season ended, announce it is going to be a Liam Hemsworth, or at least put up a video closer to the launch of this where like Henry Cavill and Liam Hemsworth are sitting down and talking to each other, something for the fans so that it would make people feel better. But there are a lot of individuals out there who haven't watched this season because they think Henry Cavill is already gone because of how poorly the announcement was done. And judging by the user scores, I mean, people have not been enjoying even the content in this season itself. Now, yes, there are definitely Henry Cavill fans that are going to places like Rotten Tomatoes, leaving negative, scores and moving along. But honestly, there's nothing in this season that has gotten me excited for the second part of the season or the show going forward. The only reason why I'm watching 3 is because of Cavill, and it's still been, a disappointing experience. The critics are kind of eating it up. It's sitting at an 85% all critic and a 100% top critic, but the top critic score has not moved at all since release, and it's only got 8 reviews here. But the audience score is at a 33% with over 1,000 ratings, which just isn't good. It is sad to see The Witcher fall so much, but it's really not that surprising, judging by all of the mistakes that they've made along the way, all of the terrible decisions that they've made, and just about the rumors that we have heard behind the scenes that apparently the showrunner Lauren hated Henry Cavill because she felt like he was trying to do her job, because as he has been described by, Siri and Yennefer's actresses, he was called a Witcher Bible on set, and he was constantly going back to the source material and trying to tell them scenes they should put in and dialogue lines they should put in. Apparently, her and the writers absolutely hated that. They felt like he was super stuck up on scene. We even heard a rumor going around that he was being a toxic gamer on set, and he was constantly acting like an elitist, which was just an absurd rumor that never went anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it's just a pile of problems with this show. But as you can see, yes, the viewership for the first part of Season 3, the viewership drastically declined, and I don't think it's going to be much better in the second part, and I do think that they're in for some major issues going into Season 4 and Season 5. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.